Greetings, my name is Jeremy Wallstrom. I worship with the people of Faith Lutheran Church in Dodge Center, and I serve on the Colombia accompaniment team of the Southeastern Minnesota Synod. The Evangelical Lutheran Church of Colombia bears witness to the transforming love of God in the lives of those gathered for worship and learning in congregations, mission congregations, and schools. That transforming love of Christ calls the church into the streets, homes, and communities of Colombia to be signs of mercy and grace, to work for justice, to build peace, to become, as the prophet Isaiah writes, repairers of the breach and restorers of the streets to live in. From the beginning, the Evangelical Lutheran Church of Colombia, commonly known as IELCO by its Spanish acronym, has embraced this mission of following Christ into the world, proclaiming the gospel of God's transforming love and grace that honors the dignity and humanity of all people and the goodness of creation. During years of armed political conflict in a country also ravaged by drug wars, economic and social disparities, environmental challenges, and racial injustice, IELCO's diaconia ministries have worked for the well-being of many in Colombia, including refugees and displaced persons, indigenous communities, young people, the elderly, the poor, those with physical and cognitive needs. One such ministry in the Soacha neighborhood of Bogota provides food, fellowship, and a range of activities for elderly widows and others in the neighborhood who are not able to work or socialize due to illness or other limitations that cause them to be forgotten or ignored by their community. Each weekday, the center provides a hot, nutritious meal, time for fellowship, programs and information for healthy living, advocacy for legal and social services, creative projects that teach skills such as beadwork, textile arts, woodworking, and spiritual care. The ministries at the Soacha Center have been greatly impacted by the pandemic. Some meal delivery has been organized to serve those living nearby, but the participants are eager to return to the center. The ministry of the Lutheran Church of Colombia is also active on the streets of Caracolí. Sitting in the rugged hills on the edge of Bogota, Caracolí, established many years ago as a temporary neighborhood for displaced persons affected by the country's internal political conflict. Most residents live in still temporary homes made of simple building materials, including corrugated tin roofs. Streets are unpaved, gutted with gullies, and filled with garbage. Clean water and operating sewage systems are limited. It is here in Caracolí where IELCO operates a ministry serving young women ages 11 to 16 called Projecting My Future. The ministry seeks to support and guide young women in the face of many challenges, including abuse, teen pregnancy, drug abuse, sexual exploitation, dropping out of school, and loss of hope. Support from IELCO staff and social workers provide preventative workshops and educational enrichment, vocational training, leadership development, opportunities to grow in faith, and relationships that build self-esteem and self-worth. Through the life-giving ministries like these, the Lutheran Church of Colombia is reaching out, helping to repair the breach, to restore the streets and communities and households of Colombia affected by years of conflict and injustice, and now by the pandemic, through acts of mercy and through God's transforming love in Christ. As our siblings in Christ and IELCO are faithfully working alongside these seniors and at-risk teens in some of the poorest sections of Bogota, they provide life-giving support, food, and spiritual care to these people whose lives are even more precarious now than before the pandemic. Your gift to 40 Together will ensure that this work among God's children in Soacha and Caracolí continues. We are one body in Christ, caring for one another, one person $1 at a time. Thank you for your part. Yay.